Hey everybody, Rob here. Just figured I'd go over swapping out the FEP since I know some people have had challenges with it. So first thing is just go through and loosen all of these Phillips head screws. Okay. So that is your FEP brackets now freed, right? So we'll set this aside for a moment. So basically you need to get these screws out. Right. So then what you got is this plate, right? This is a seal and a spacer, and that stays in there. Then you got the other side, which is the part where you have risk of resin getting on it, just like that is. And so this piece is the part where it sandwiches the FEP in place. So remember, 18 screws faces that direction. So that faces that side. Make sure you get all your screws back. This, the rubber gasket. It's not torn and it's not screwed up if you didn't do it. But you could see how it could easily be done because of the way it's put together. So that side goes right there, right there. And then you have your old film. So what I'm going to use today to test out is this stuff. 0.15 thick normal FEP from the 3D Club. It's inexpensive. It's available on Amazon with free shipping, and I think it's $20 for 4 sheets, which makes it 1/4 the cost of NFEP, which is pretty amazingly inexpensive. I've used the thicker 0.2 version before without issue, so I think the 0.15 will work quite well. So if you order this stuff from this same shop, it does not come with protective layer on it like some do. So essentially you'll just lay it down, right? Lay it down so it's centered as much as you can be, if you can see it. And take your gasket, right? Okay, so there goes that. And take this plate, the 18 hole plate, and set it on there. So what I do need to do is grab this screw, and then how I go about this is I use a small round file to poke a hole. And then I start that one just enough so it starts biting, right? And then on the opposite side, sorry, this is distinctly more difficult to do on camera than off. On the opposite side, I pull it a little tight and poke a hole. And then insert a screw. And we're going to do this for the whole frame. There. So now I have two started, one on each side over there. And then what I'll do is I'll start the centers on the other sides. And then once I do those two, then I'll go around and I'll do them all. But none of them get tightened until all of them are in place. Okay, so I've gone through and I've now prepped this, which is the two-part film, or two-part frame that holds the film. And all the screws are in, but none of them are torqued. So what I'll do is just go around in order. And I'll tighten it until I just feel it start to get a little tight, and then I'll go to the next one. Alright, just till we start to feel it actually squeeze that gasket, and you start to get some resistance. And I go until it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so there you go, right? And there's a little slack in it. Actually, maybe a little more than I like, typically. But nevertheless, this is the process. So then I'm going to put this down, right? And then what I'm going to do is trim the edge. I actually forgot about that I need to do that because of the camera. So what we'll do now is go through and just trim the edge of the FEP. Obviously, the sharper the knife you have, the better this goes, and you do want to get it pretty close. There we go. All right. Now, how do you know what side goes where? Right? That's pretty simple. Remember these numbers? They're in order, 1 through 18, all the way around in a clockwise fashion. This side, they're not in order, and there are fewer. So you can put it on here, and then to get it sit properly, to actually sit correctly, you're going to have to poke holes in each of the areas where a screw goes. Right? Now, why am I not concerned with tension so far? Well, the reason I'm not super concerned with tension so far is because the way that the bottom of this vat is designed, right? This part, the raised edge, makes it so that it will automatically pull it into a tensioned position. So just get number one started, Go down to the opposite one, which would be 5. Get it started. And go through and just get them all started in their threads. So you should notice that as you're putting these in, you're starting to feel tension at a very early number of threads engaged. You'll start to feel that you're pulling against the FEP. So two more. Okay, so, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and turn it a few turns just till it dumps under the, or dips under the edge over here. I'm going to do the same with this one. And it's just so you can feel the tension on the screw start to increase. Right. It's like 2 turns or so of each one. So 1 is tight, 2 is tight, 3 is tight, 4 is tight, 5 is tight, 6 is good, 7 is good, 8 is good, 9's tight enough, 12, 3 left, 14, 15, and 16. Now, 1, 2, okay, so they're good. It's all installed.